Hello and welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial we'll learn how to make a pencil. So first of all, you choose the pen icon and then you choose the n-sided. This is a hexagonal pencil, so this is already set to 6. Now we want to extrude this. So for that, you hold and click on this and then you select extrude. Once selected, you place the n-sided line under the extrude, allowing this downward arrow to be under the extrude. Once this is done, now you can see that we have some width added to this. So what you want to do now is you want to click on extrude and set this to a bit higher value. Anything of your choice, but it should be kind of proportional to the face, the hexagonal face of the pencil. So let me just I think this looks fine. Now what we want to do is we want to make the face of the pencil, the pointed tip of the pencil. So we'll make this editable by clicking on the line, the edges icon, and then clicking on the white this globe kind of icon. So now this is editable. Now what we want to do is that we want to select all these edges. Click on an edge, hold shift, then click on another edge, hold shift while doing this, and then select all the edges. Now you want to hold control on your keyboard and drag this arrow so that it is like this. Now what you want to do is you want to select the scaling option. You can do this manually by clicking this button, or you can also do this by pressing T on your keyboard. Now you want to do is you want to just drag and make this smaller. Make this smaller so it kind of becomes a tip. I think this is good enough. And if you want to make this a bit longer, let's see if it's good enough or not. I think it can be a little longer. Yes, maybe a bit more. So now what you want to do is you want to make the lead, which we can see from this pencil. So for that we want to right click on any of these lines and then select the loop path cut tool, this tool, and we want to make a cut over here so that we can select the polygons after this. Once you have made the cut, just press E, so you can go to the move tool, or you can just do that by pressing this button. Now we want to select all these polygons. For that you have to click on this button and select the rectangle selection tool. Once this is selected, just select all these polygons. And now you can see that all these polygons are selected. Now you want to make a texture, because this will be the same material but just a different color to show that this is the lead. So we want to select a black color. This looks fine. Then we just want to apply it on this. So we'll color the rest of ahead, and now we want to make the back of the pencil. So we'll use a cylinder for it. So to open a cylinder, you just go to this icon, hold and click, and then select cylinder. Now we drag our cylinder to over here. We make it larger by choosing the scale tool and then just dragging it. And by the way, you can change it to ground shading lines. Now it's better. And you want to rotate it. To rotate, you can choose the rotate tool, and then we want to rotate it about this axis. So we'll rotate and then we'll hold shift, so we can rotate in whole numbers, and we'll do it to 90. Now that's done. We'll choose the move tool and make sure you're on the model icon. So now we want to increase the radius, because the back cover is slightly bigger than the pencil itself. You can see that we have to change a bit more because we can see the the wooden pencil from here. So we'll do this a bit more, just so that we now it's good enough. Maybe even a bit less. This looks good enough. Now what we want to do is we want to increase the length a bit. Yes, this looks good. And now we want to make the eraser. To make the eraser, it's very simple. You just copy and paste this cylinder and you just decrease the radius a bit. So it looks like the eraser is in this portion. It's this portion usually silver, and because the eraser is round, what you want to do is that you want to select this cylinder, just click on it, then go to caps and then go to fillet. Now this looks more like a cylinder and more like an eraser. This looks good enough. Now what we want to do is we want to have a silver texture. Now we are going to coloring this pencil because I think this is made. Now we want to give a silver texture to it. So just click on this, make a new texture. Double clicking makes a texture. So make a new texture, go to this silverish color, choose like from here, and then go to reflectance, then add a reflection legacy. Now this will give a reflection to this, and you just choose this color. And now we just apply this to this. Yes. Now we want to make something for the eraser, a color for the eraser. So for that, we are going to turn off the reflectance because erasers don't actually reflect. Then we are going to choose a skin toned color, something like this. And you can also choose something of your own choice, but for this tutorial I am choosing these colors, and it's totally up to you. And we'll make the radius a little smaller because I was thinking the eraser should not be as big as the capsule it is in. And now just maybe color the pencil a bit brown. I think brown would be good. So just color this pencil brown, and then for the rest of the part, now because this is brown, this has to be white because this is the kind of the portion. So we'll go to polygon mode. No, not yet. You have to select the pencil and then go to the polygon mode, and you have to select all these polygons. Now you have to make a kind of white color, something like this, and then you have to select these polygons and put the black texture over here. Think this looks fine. This color I think can be a little bit on the lighter tone, I think. Yes, this looks good enough. And then we can just, we can put a floor, or maybe even not. We can put a cube under this, so we can make it look like it's a plane, and just make the cube flat because we want to make it like it's a plane under the pencil, and make it long enough so that it can easily cover the whole of the pencil. And by the way, aside from this cube, click on this, hold shift and then click on this. So now you have selected all of the pencil. To make this a group, press Alt G. pressing Alt G makes this a group. We'll name this pencil. Now when we click on pencil, we are selecting all of these icons, so we can move all of these at once. Grouping icon, so we are just putting this on the cube just a little higher, and then we'll color this cube blue. I think blue looks good. Maybe dark blue. And then we'll put a light. So to choose a light, you just go to this, click and hold, and then choose spotlight. You can choose all different lights, but for this tutorial I am choosing a spotlight. Now what we want to do is that we want to increase the radius of this light. So you just hold one of the dots and drag it. Now you can see this is putting a light, and you can rotate it 90 degrees so it is directly above the pencil. And now we can move it like this above the pencil. And we can make duplicates of this. So I want to have two lights, so I'll just do this, and then I'll move this light over here, and then I'll have another duplicate. To make a duplicate, you just hold Control and then drag it along the arrow so it makes a duplicate. So now what we have, I think, is good enough. And maybe I just want to have a light from this side too, from the front side, so I will make a duplicate, then I'll rotate it so it is facing the pencil like this. Hold shift while rotating so you can rotate in whole numbers. This is done. We'll move it down like this. Yes. So now we can make this a bit longer. And now we want to check if everything's fine when we render it. And yes, everything's fine, but this is reflecting too much, I think. So we'll just head over to reflectance, then we'll head over to this layer 1, because this was the reflection legacy, and we'll just put it to roughness to about 37%, so it's kind of rough. Now when we check it, it is not reflecting as much. And by the way, because it's an hexagonal pencil, why can't we see the hexagon right now? Because by default everything is spherified, so we don't have lines by default, we have curves. To remove the curve, go to the pencil, and you can see this was the hexagon, and this is the reason why we are seeing not hexagon but actually cylinder. So when you click on this and then you click on delete, now what you will see is hexagons, and this is what we actually wanted to see. The eraser looks a bit too yellowish, so I think I'll just decrease the yellowish tint a bit. This looks fine. Now what you want to do is you want to go on the display setting, choose your own display settings. I've chosen 1270 by 720. I will choose 1920 by 1080. This looks good enough. Then I'll head over to this icon, and then I'll put 44 in this. This is just a default of the resolution you're taking. And by the way, this is just what I have made. You can have your own creativity, you can have your own colors, your own lighting. It just depends. You have to be more creative and just play with the tools so you can actually find out what's good and what's not. And you can make unbelievable items. So now we want to, and by the way, these lines that you can see right now, you won't see them in the picture. This is just a thing which even I don't understand why this shows these lines over here. Maybe but you won't show them, you won't show these in the real picture. So we want to save this file in the PNG format, and I'll just save it in the results and pics folder and name this pencil tutorial. Saved. This was it for this tutorial. I hope to see you in the next one. And by the way, comment below what you want to see in the next tutorial. And these all are beginner tutorials, so you can actually try to make these stuff by your own, and we'll actually head over to more harder, more complex tutorials. But for now, I'm just focusing on beginner tutorials, so you can actually have a solid grip of Cinema 4D. Thank you. Hope to see you in the next video.